Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my video. Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys a quick fix on an issue that I had with this truck. And this happens randomly. It's working fine, and then for whatever reason it stalls out, it dies randomly while the engine is on, while it's driving, particularly when it's going around slowly, going around corners. It's got a whole bunch of electrical problems when this happens. The light flickers, etc., etc. And apparently this is a huge issue with this truck. All right, and if you guys have this problem, you probably would suspect that it's the alternator that's causing the issue, because it's dying on the road. But the difference with this is, this is how you know it's not the alternator, because if it's the alternator, what happens is, you'd have to jump it and it turns on, and then you take the cables off and it'll just die out on you. However, in this situation, that's not quite this situation. All right, in this situation, if you take the keys out, obviously if it dies out on you while on your road, it's a safety hazard. It's kind of dangerous. So if you guys are in this situation, you guys want to definitely make sure, well, like if you're in the middle lane on the highway and this happens to you, hopefully it doesn't. A lot of times this will happen when it's going a lot slower, making turns, etc., etc. But if this does happen to you on the freeway, hopefully you're on closer to one of the shoulder lanes so that you can just pull over, because this is not just an electrical issue. This is a safety issue, because you're gonna have these situations where it just dies out on you while you're driving, so it's a safety issue. And a lot of the fixes on this, it goes anywhere from alternator to a whole bunch of other things that could cause it. However, here's how you know it's not the alternator, because once it stalls out on you, just once you park it, put it in park, take the key out, put the key back in, try to start it, it'll start back up as if nothing happened at all. As if nothing happened at all. So if you guys run into this issue, and this is a big issue with the trucks from these years, from this year, here's what you guys are gonna do. All right, and this is probably like the reason why it happens. It's not the battery, it's not the alternator, it's not the engine. Here's what's causing it. Okay, the ground wire is a negative wire on the battery that connects to the frame. Apparently, for whatever reason, on GM vehicles, has so many issues on so many. They don't, and probably know why the reason is, because they make a ton of money having you bring your truck, your car in to get it, to have them figure out what the problem is. Diagnosis is at least close to 200. And then the fixes will run you in the thousands, or whatever whatever these dealerships tell you what's causing it. And sometimes they're gonna pretend like they don't know, and then you bring it in a couple more times. And so many times I've heard that these dealerships don't know what's causing it, or they'll tell you that it's not, they can't reproduce the issue. All right, but here's the thing. All right, if you had a good running truck, there's no other issues besides this issue. What you guys want to look for is the ground wire. All right, a lot of times the connector to the frame of the truck, connected to the frame of the truck, you know, you're gonna, there's rust, there's corrosion, there's dirt, there's whatever that gets under it, and that's not just the problem. Okay, one of the main problem is that a lot of GM trucks and vehicles, they don't make the contacts, the surface area in the contacts, they don't make it as, the area as big as possible, right? They'll paint around it, and the only contacts, a lot of times what you have is you have paint around it, and the only contact is the boat, the surface of the boat to the internal threads of the frame, where the bolt threads into the frame, screws into the frame. All right, and that's a lot of times that might be enough when the car, when the truck is new and there's no corrosion, there's no rust, etc., etc. But once you have it for a couple years, what happens is rust starts building up on it, and corrosion, dirt, or whatever have you, and that surface area, you know, it sometimes is not enough for the electrical connection. All right, it's not adequate enough for the electrical connection, so you're gonna get very anemic currents going through your electrical system. And because you're getting anemic currents going through your electrical system, you're going to get anemic electricity going through going to your battery, going to your car's computer, the ECM, the ECU, the transmission control module, the TCM, you know, and even though a lot of times, if that's just the issue, you would get a no start issue. All right, but it's a lot more technically, the problem is a lot more technically connected, because so many things are now connected to the battery. All your sensors are connected to the battery, your car's computer is connected to the battery, and obviously your alternator is connected to your battery. And you know, if you're getting an anemic connection to the battery, there's a chances are your battery is not going to be charging up correctly, and it might get an anemic charge to the point where okay, so even if your alternator in this situation is putting out the currents that it's putting out, you know, there's a chance that, you know, that bad ground connection, it's going to cause an anemic charging of the battery. Not only is it going to charge connection of the battery, it's going to, you know, once the battery drains, you know, to a very, very low current, it's not gonna register enough power. Sometimes it's not gonna register enough power, even if the alternator's on, that the ECU, the car's computer, is reading that the whole system is okay, the charging system is okay, etc., etc. All right, so if you guys are in this situation, what you guys want to do is you guys really want to take the bolts off the frame. All right, take the bolt off the frame, unscrew it, take the bolt off the frame. You're gonna clean it. You're gonna use a metal brush. You're gonna use sandpaper. You're gonna make sure that the paint is off in any connection where the bolt is to the frame. You want to make sure that the paint is scraped off either from the wire brush or from the sandpaper. You're going to do that to the bolt. You're going to do that to the connector itself, the ground connector. And once you do that, put it back in, and there is a good 90% chance, or even a 99% chance, if this is your problem, if this is your only issue that you're having, that it would resolve your issue, because this is a well-known issue within the trucks of not just these years, but previous years. All right, so really, really important that you guys, if you guys have this issue, just for safety concerns, you might want to just do that, just to solve that issue. But anyway, hope this has helped you guys out. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section. Please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. All that good stuff, right, guys? Take care.